You're watching Newsday TV. You'll want to keep cool today. We're under a heat advisory on the island. It is July 9th. I'm Jasmine Anderson. More on the heat in a moment, but first, bail has been set for the Shirley man charged with allegedly stabbing a man from Florida at Adventureland. Daniel Tomaski pleaded not guilty to the charges yesterday. Prosecutors say on Sunday he used a knife to stab the man in the stomach following a dispute. The two allegedly knew each other, and at least one child was present at the time. The victim remains in critical condition. Tomaski faces up to 25 years in prison. Only a Newsday, the name of the Long Island Lighting Company will retire along with its debt. Last month, the LIPA board approved measures to formally merge with the company it acquired in 1998 and drop the name. Over $300 million left in debt from the purchase is also scheduled to be paid off by the end of 2026. It will have no impacts on LIPA's tax-exempt status. Americans' confidence in the value of college is declining. A new Gallup poll released yesterday showed only 36% of 2,000 Americans surveyed had a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in higher education. That's down from 57% in 2015. Even college students on the island say they understand.
I think the standard just keeps rising, and obviously the standard's harder for more and more people to afford, which is why I think a lot of people are losing faith in it.
All these different job opportunities where you don't need to come to college, there's probably people thinking that's not that important anymore.
The poll comes as the national debate rages over tuition costs and campus free speech. Hempstead Village is looking for a cut of $15 million in federal pandemic funds for a new water treatment facility. The village has requested nearly $2 million from Nassau. County Democrats claim millions have already been approved for projects in Republican districts. A county spokesman said they are waiting to see what federal and state aid Hempstead will receive before making the call. An Amazon service partner is leaving Carl Place and taking 57 jobs with it. GNCAS Logistics LLC notified the state and Amazon it will relocate its business on September 30th, citing personal reasons. The company is an independent contractor that works with Amazon to deliver packages within a mile. Amazon says it is actively working to help affected workers. Microplastics in the Long Island Sound can wind up in your body. Macy Egland has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
Microplastics are polluting Long Island Sound and waterways around the world.
It's right now to the point that it's threatening human health.
Local researchers say 97% of the water samples tested in a recent study contained plastics, with higher levels on the West End, near Greenpoint, Brooklyn, and at The Race, a prime fishing spot off Fisher's Island.
When you're near an urban environment, you get a lot of microplastics.
One of the biggest sources, according to Lucy, is sewage treatment plants.
They're not designed to filter them out.
Some call it a crisis that's not only impacting the environment, it's harming our health.
Yes, these microplastic particles have been found everywhere. So in the air, we are respiring these particles. We are eating, we are drinking these particles.
Most of it comes from things like plastic packaging, fish and other seafood, and your bottled water. But you can reduce the use and slow the spread. Experts say filter your drinking water, use paper products, and avoid plastic packaging whenever possible. Wear natural fiber clothing rather than polyester or fleece. And buy a filter for your washer, which can remove more than 90% of microfibers. And always properly dispose of your garbage so it doesn't end up in our waterways.
We really, as a society, we really need to decide, do we have to have this much convenience? Are we willing to poison ourselves just for some convenience?
Reporting for Newsday TV, I'm Macy Egland.
Certainly something to think about. Thank you, Macy. Read more about microplastics on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
I'm Shari Einhorn. When recycling first became a thing back in the late 1980s, it was touted as an easy way to help save the planet. But advocates now say laws have become so complicated and confusing, only about 20% of things that should be recycled are.
And then I'm wasting my time recycling, basically.
And how do you feel about that?
It's a little annoying because I'm trying to do the right thing.
Recycling rules across the island aren't the same. That means what my town recycles could be different than what yours does. Here's the question, though. Do Long Islanders even know that? You know there are different numbers that do or don't get recycled.
No, I didn't know.
According to this new report, consistent recycling laws make sense for the environment and for the bottom line. But advocates say unless companies that manufacture these products are on board, it's unlikely anything will change.
The public should not have to have a master's degree in order to understand the recycling procedure here on Long Island. Recycling should be easier, recycling should be convenient, and recycling should be understandable and doable.
Bayshore's Aya Deeb told me she tries really hard to understand the do's and don'ts of recycling, but admits it's very confusing.
Unfortunately, if you throw something in the bin and it's not going to be recycled, it's kind of like a wasted effort. So,
is that going to change what you do?
I mean, I'll try to learn more about it.
In Farmingdale, I'm Shari Einhorn for NewsdayTV.
This Long Island woman is arriving in England today to represent the U.S. in the knife-throwing World Cup. Ken Bufa has a story.
This is Natalie Murray, a.k.a. Savage Thrower.
My mom told me I'm not allowed to throw at people, and I follow her rules.
The 37-year-old Wantagh resident is sharpening her skills as she prepares to head across the pond to the United Kingdom to compete in the United Knife and Axe Throwers World Cup.
I have awards for throwing tomahawks long distance and rotational knives.
As the official U.S. ambassador, Murray will need razor-sharp precision in all events, including distance knife and axe throwing, spitting knife throwing, and much more.
I practice every single day for a few hours a day, and I usually have certain goals to accomplish.
So how does one get into knife throwing? Well, for Savage, it was because of her brother and how quickly life can change.
I got into knife throwing in 2017 when my brother was waiting for an organ donation. I made my bucket list of the things I wanted to accomplish in my life after experiencing such a traumatic event with a family member, and knife throwing was top of the list.
With the world stage less than a day away, Savage is spending hours in her home training center, sharing experiences with her thousands of online followers, all while making sure every toss serves its purpose, to hit the target and to inspire others.
I hope I inspire you, if not to get involved in knife throwing, to try that thing on your bucket list.
Read more stories like this on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Checking out your hyper-local forecast. It's another hot one today as the island is under a heat advisory. More on that in a moment. Here's a look outside at Cooper's Beach in Southampton. We start off very foggy this morning with low clouds. Let's get back to the heat discussion now. Parts of the island are under a heat advisory. All of Nassau and parts of Suffolk County can expect high heat until this evening, and you can certainly see why. Let's take a look at today's highs. We're mostly in the 80s, as you saw there, and tomorrow we're mostly cloudy, but that summer heat streak continues with highs in the 80s. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy, helping Long Islanders save on their energy bills for over 20 years.
I'm Jasmine Anderson. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there.